contacting the Hollywood Improv, like, hey, you know what happened last night in front of your club last night? And so they started to look into the footage, and because of what they saw, it already had started to go corporate. It already started to go into the hands of people who are handling major things out here, including Live Nation, Levity, a bunch of stuff like that. So these are the people who pay a lot of us comedians. You know what I'm saying? So, and a lot of it is Jewish ran, might I add, along with women ran. So it's like, this is not going to serve him at all in the public eye, especially with it already going along with his comedy, like his material. Like, he talks shit about his daughter. He talks shit about his wife. He's a cheater. I mean, he said crazy things like, fuck that bitch talking about his daughter. I could make another one. And it's like, as a woman who loves her father, I'm just like, I couldn't imagine my dad saying some crazy stuff like that.
Let's get into it. Okay? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? It's snowing up here. We're going to watch this Corey Holcomb footage. And we're going to hear the woman break it down. Now, is this the first time that sisters go after brothers? Nah. Will we see Corey put his hands on that woman? Yes. The question is, why? Why? Why did Corey Holcombs put his hand on that woman? The preliminary order would be, which I still don't understand it, but the preliminary order would be, I put my hands on you to get your man to get it popping. That would be a preliminary order, but because I don't see any other reason, honestly. Because if he wanted to hit her, I'm sure he could have hit her and kept doing stuff to her or whatever. So it was more of a scenario to disrespect the man. So the question is, if you was a man, would you have your bitch talking like that? Would you allow him to talk like that for a while? Back and forth with your girl to walk up on her? A lot of weird shit. But this is what happened in the new society. A lot of weird stuff. So, we're going to get into this breakdown. Okay, guys?
Like how, and as a social worker, just hearing stuff. You like a social worker? Yes, I have a master's in social work from Howard University. So that's also another.
She has a master's degree from Howard in social work. She has a loving father. She has a boyfriend or a husband, but she's yelling in a man's face. Does that mean a man should put his hands on her while her husband is there? Absolutely not. But what are we doing? Why would she have the liberty to argue with this man? Well, we're going to get into it because she knows Corey before she knew her husband. That still shouldn't matter. It's just an unruly nature.
Things that I know the laws. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I hit somebody, and especially first? Like, I know it's one thing about self-defense, but it's another thing to just be striking people first.
Why would I hit somebody first? Sis, why would you be arguing with that grown man? So that's a lot going on. You're arguing with that man while your husband is present. I mean, that's a lot to offer.
And you have witnesses, and there's cameras around, all around. Like, so we were right in front of the Hollywood Improv. And yeah, so tell me what happened. Were you performing that night, or was he performing?
No, 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 no. Hold on. Let's check the video. She's yelling and cussing and arguing and kicking. We would say kicking it, but clearly it wasn't anything positive. So the question is, why is this happening?
At the Hollywood Improv? No, he rarely gets to perform there at that improv. I don't even think they appreciate him at all.
Corey rarely gets to perform at the Hollywood Improv. I'm not sure they appreciate him there. Why? Well, with the new climate, they don't like that sort of edgy type of comedy.
And then come to find out, he usually has a gun on him, so that's why he doesn't come in.
He usually has a gun on him. That's why he doesn't come in. Why is she saying that? To add negativity towards him and have the police watching him? Because she cares about the other patrons that's around? Or she just wants to be a snitch? So the question is, why would she want to do any of these things to that man? So whenever D-Ray shows there, that's like his homie from Chicago. And so that's the only time he may or may not, jump up on stage. So now, what I tell y'all, told you bitches are snitches, right? No, this ain't about Corey. Now she's snitching on D-Ray. D-Ray ain't got nothing to do with this. But D-Ray is his homie from Chicago. Now we know. Now we know the business. D-Ray is his homie from Chicago, and he lets him get in to the improv. Other than that, Corey will be standing outside the improv, as you can see on your screen, kicking it. That's what we have. For 5 minutes or something like that. But he's usually outside of the Hollywood Improv. They say he drives a scooter. Is that true? Well, I don't know exactly, but I know that he fell off of the scooter and broke both of his wrists. And he actually did that in the summertime after the initial verbal altercation that we had. This whole thing really started in the summertime.
In the NHL now.
Here we go. Oh, baby.
There's so much talent from around the globe.
And I never thought somebody that carries a gun would ride a scooter. That's really interesting. Okay.
I never thought somebody that carries a gun would ride a scooter. Then if you know that much, then you should be able to tell me what type of vehicles do gun carrying people use. You don't know. But this is where we at. Where bitches are telling you how to do all this gangster shit and their opinion on gangster shit and war and Trump and all that. When we talk about fighting and killing and all this other stuff. Where it doesn't matter.
But okay, I just wanted to confirm that because they said he rides it's like a little moped scooter, and I was like, he kind of heavy to be on a moped, and I know he be musty on that. Yeah, it is hairy. I know he be musty and stuff. So what initially started to be? Well, I mean, if we're going all the way back to when it initially for real started, this is like 12 years ago, for real.
The beef started 12 years ago. Now, from what we have learned, 12 years from then, we would safely say that her box is older and more used up. So, what would be the beef on his end? Before I was even that long. Listen, girl, but this is off of some 12 years ago. I wasn't even doing comedy back then. I was only doing radio. I started my podcast called The Christina Payne Show. So that's why I remember when you started, because when you were starting, I was like going into comedy. I did maybe like 100 episodes, and it wasn't even called podcast yet. It was still called Radio Internet. So Corey was a guest on my show. A bunch of people have been on my show, like Wiz Khalifa, Nipsey Hussle, Sway from MC. People recruit me. He's the ex-girlfriend of
And he said, I want you to replace this Mexican lady named Darlene. She's the ex-girlfriend of Ice-T or something like that. That's like,
Now, Corey wanted her to replace Darlene. Okay.
she's famous for or something. I don't know.
But he hit Darlene too. Yeah, Corey hit Darlene.
Oh, he has?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
His wife told me. His wife told me.
Oh, the Puerto Rican lady?
Yeah, he said that, she caught him cheating with Darlene as well.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So Corey was caught cheating with Darlene. Okay. Now, what you see on your screen is a man step to a woman, which is not cool. Okay. And you also see a woman throw her hands in a man's face. Not cool. Why, Prince? Because that woman right there that has her hand in a man's face that stepped her, both scenarios are not cool. She's crying now over here on Tasha K in a second. How does that work? And when niggas say, yo, stay away from people, that's why.
Oh yeah, the wife told us. But they going through a divorce. She told us everything. She said he likes butt play, all types of shit, bro.
Corey likes butt play. What does that matter when you're talking to the black woman? All your friends are gay. So what does it matter? We got to stop doing that. You gay, you gay. You have any other shaming tactic? You know? I mean, niggas knew Diddy been on some other shit. And they don't give a fuck.
Like, yeah. And I can tell a big nigga like that try to pretend he hard. They like their asses played, but I can tell him.
A big dude like that, I could tell he like his ass played with. I could tell. How? Because all of your friends are gay. This is sad. This is nasty. And this is what happened to the sisters and the brothers. Okay? This is the tape. Okay? What do you notice? That's why I say this whole story is wild. I know how it is. I know how it is to, be in that scenario right there. As far as like, was Corey trying to entice or set the husband off? And also, was she? Because at this point, the husband is in the middle of shit with men possibly jumping him, and she's standing. Now she's there, and a girl comes and grabs her. A girl comes and grabs her. Now she's way in the back while her husband is getting handled, allegedly. Look, that's not what's up. Come on now. People can die over this bullshit. And look what she's doing. Holding her bag? Are you kidding me? Look. That's a whole woman in her face. Beat that bitch ass and get to your husband. They jumping him.
girl, it's people here in Hollywood who are saying that he's gay and for real, and they got video of that to prove that. And I was like, oh.
Shot fires, bro. Shot fire. He already know. I'll upload the recording. He don't want that recording of his wife out saying that. I was just like, you have?
I met her in Washington, D.C. backstage at a show, and this is also when I met that pastor that was on his podcast a week ago lying about me, who invited me to a private Bible study in his hotel room during a snowstorm, trying to lay hands on a bitch. So that's why I was like, all the people that he's trying to get, like, it was pretty much he hired actors or some thirsty open micers to be on his show and wrote them a script and was like, we got to deny everything because the truth was out too much already. So once it went viral, like once Comedy Hype picked it up.
Once Corey stepped to her, which was bad, she threw her hand in his face, which is bad. She threw her hand up right towards his face. Why, sis? Why? But watch this on Tasha K, the bitch over here crying. Look at this shit.
And then TMZ wanted to break the news, but my attorney was like, "Don't say nothing yet. Just chill for right now." So in doing that, it has definitely given people time to hang themselves. And the defamation that has gone on, the lies. I'm talking about, like,
are you emotional?
Girl, I cannot believe.
Are you emotional? Bitch! This don't look like no emotional person throwing your hands up in a nigga face. That's the shit that you deal with out here. That's why it's ridiculous. Now, what are we supposed to do? Who's painted out the demon here? Because it always equals the same thing. You gotta stay away from these bitches. Have you hemmed up, son? And it ain't just Corey. She did this with her husband sitting there. And he got to get in it. Look, her husband's right there. Look at this crap. She's standing over here. The husband's over here. What's that about? And now she's on Tasha over here crying.
It has definitely given people time to hang themselves. And the defamation that has gone on, the lies. I'm talking about, like,
are you emotional?
Girl, I cannot believe to the lies. I'm talking about, like,
are you emotional?
Girl, I cannot believe.
What? That is the shit we're dealing with out here. Somebody that'll do this, get her husband in a world of shit where he could possibly get jumped, stopped out, or worse. Standing around, talking cash shit, but you emotional. Whoa. That's a danger. What we call that in the hood is a bitch ass nigga. You better be scared of a bitch ass nigga. That nigga get your ass in jail, all sorts of shit. Let me fight with a courageous man. Let me go to war with a courageous man who won't do all the snitching and all this other wow crying and shit. The worst you could get in trouble with is a bitch made nigga. You know?
The lies. I'm talking about, like,
are you emotional?
Girl, I cannot believe to the extent that people will go for 15 minutes of what they call fame. I'm just like, really? Like, and these are people who I used to call friends, like people who still have my glass Tupperware at their house from the last meal that I cooked for them.
Look. Does this look like a woman that's crying? Look at what she do. She gonna do the Jamaican joint. Remember the Jamaican move where you throw it up? You know, you do the you know what I mean? Throw your fingers in the sky and point up a lick shot bomber. Look. Doom, 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 doom. Up in the streets, they call it murder. Look, gangster shit. Look at this shit. That does not look like somebody who's crying. I think I do have a little Jamaican over here.
Put your lighters up, New York.
That bitch is like, put your lighters up.
Put your lighters up, New York.
Look at this shit. Put your lighters up.
Put your lighters up, New York.
Look at this shit. Hold on.
Put Put your lighters up, New York.
Wow. That's gangster shit. Wow.
Shit, girl.
So, and the holidays is here.
Yeah, you need your shit. Tupperware expensive.
Or especially the glass.
Right, exactly.
Okay, hello.
Bring that lady shit back.
So,
Go ahead.
so basically, there was a comedian who was there, and it's a woman, and she took a gun from Corey. Corey passed her a gun and was like, put that up. So because I mentioned her name, she's like, oh, because you mentioned me, I'm going to say whatever. And I have like all the text messages from all these people, and
Not all F words are bad. Some are great, like fast, free, fiber for 4 months.
all the
Hold on. Back up. Because you were telling us how you had met Corey and we had got on your fucking Darlene. You know what I'm saying? So you guys actually worked together back 12 years ago. Yeah. Just want to
Look,
let me
look at the girl over there where the arrow is. A girl is in her face. She's not a gangster. Why? Her husband's getting jumped. Why is she not beating this bitch ass? Her husband's getting jumped over there. Unfucking believable.
12 years ago. Okay, so he wanted me to be a co-host on his radio show, right? So I'm out here from Washington, D.C. And mind you, I'm from California, but I was going to Howard University, undergrad and grad, so that's why I was still in Washington, D.C. So I
hold on. So Corey Holcomb finished with the husband and came back towards the bitch. Hold on. Okay, so this is Corey right here. I believe. Yeah. Hold on. Right. So he was coming back towards the bitch. And look at her. No more lighters up. Look at that. Not good.
I come to LA to have this meeting with him, and and have a production meeting, like see the studios wherever he was recording and stuff like that. And then he says he got me a hotel room. So I'm like, okay, I didn't flew myself out here, I guess.
So Corey knew the bitch 12 years ago, and he got her a hotel room. This is where all this shit starts. Let's go.
The undergrad and grad, so that's why I was still in Washington, D.C. So I come back, I come to LA to have this meeting with him, and and have a production meeting, like see the studios wherever he was recording and stuff like that. And then he says he got me a hotel room. So I'm like, okay, I didn't flew myself out here. I guess that's the least he could do, get me a hotel room or whatever. He got me a room at this place called Dunes Inn on Wilshire Boulevard. Okay. It was some Rudy Poo shit. I was like, okay, but it was only gonna be 4 nights or whatever. I'm flying out tomorrow. But he tried to force himself upstairs, like on some, like, because he was buying the room. Corey? Right. Because Corey Holcomb was buying me this hotel room, motel room, mind you, that he had a right to come upstairs and it was about to go down or whatever. He was like, yeah, woo, woo, woo. And I was like, huh? Like, nigga, no. I was like, I'm sorry. I recall you being married. And I, first of all, do not mess with married men. That's just something I just do not do. My parents have been married for 42 years until my mom passed away. So I'm like, I just know this is, my dad played pro basketball. I'm like, this is what I do not do. I knew to never be that.
He tried to come get some pussy from you in the Roach Motel.
He really thought.
My dad played pro basketball, and I'm out here in the streets arguing with men. My dad played pro basketball, and look at me, Dad. Look at me, Dad. Look at me, Dad. I throw it up, Daddy. I talk that shit to these niggas out here, Daddy. He steps to her. Watch what she does. A grown man. And like I say, I don't like that he did that. Don't waste your time with these people. She throws her hand right in his face. Right in his face. Hold on, where my clip go? I lost the clip that fast. Wow, how did that happen? Oh.
Put your lighters up, New York.
She throws her hand in his face.
Was about to get some because
you light skinned. We were supposed to put you in a Hilton.
nigga, I am also Filipino. Okay, so that's why
she's Filipino. She's a damn tether. This is what you get yourself caught up in nowadays, guys. So the husband, Corey's grabbing. The husband and Corey's grabbing each other's clothes. Corey gets him, gets a little leverage. The other guys are jumping on the husband as well. The husband loses his footing. Not good. My goodness. Now, let's bring it back. While that's happening, this is her right here to the right. She's watching. She decides to come out, keep her bag in her hand, and put out one arm. There's a girl right here that's going to run and grab her. Let the men handle that. Look, they tearing her husband up, allegedly. The girl has her way back here. The husband is pissed. He over there getting ragged out for this bitch. Oh, okay. Here we go. So look at the bottom of your screen. The bottom of your screen, the husband is going to be held by this other guy. Corey's up top. The husband is at the bottom where the red is. Watch. Here comes the husband. This is the husband right here. This is the husband to the bottom of the screen. Right? Am I right about this? No. There's somebody who jumped the husband. That's the dude that jumped the husband. Dang.
Even all black.
right. So that's why. So that's why I was like,
that fuck. Go ahead. Wanted to fuck somebody at a goddamn Roach Motel.
No, that is the. Hold on. This is the husband right here next to him, right? Right. Looks like the same guy. Got that hood. Man got that hood. They trying to get him up off the ground.
You know,
just him on the period.
W, okay? Now, would you have gave him some pussy if he would have got you the W?
No, because I don't mess with married men, period.
You
So,
started on that. You was like, no. You had to think about it.
some examples. I was like, dude,
If he wasn't married and you got that W hotel, would you have gave Corey Holcomb some pussy?
I probably would have made him still wait a little bit, but like I would at least had him in a better mind frame of it all.
I still would have fucked him. Unbelievable.
Cause you gave me all your pussy.
You started on that. You was like, no. You had to think about it.
Some examples. I was like, dude,
if he wasn't married and you got that W hotel, would you have gave Corey Holcomb some pussy?
I probably would have made him still wait a little bit, but like I would at least had him in a better mind frame of it all, you know, because honestly, Corey didn't seem like that bad of a guy back then. You know what I'm saying? Like he seemed like a nice guy back then, but once he flipped on me like that and was like, "Oh well, fuck you then, bitch. You ain't gonna give me no pussy. Well, fuck you then," and fuck the whole radio situation. So I didn't do his radio show, but I continued to work with Olivia Fox, and
that's called sexual harassment, and he's trading pussy for work. He wants you to.
Straight up. So that happened 12 years ago. So mind you, we are fast forwarding.
12 years ago. 12 years ago. And she's still bothering this man. Unbelievable. 12 years ago, dog.
To now, like 3 years ago, I just moved to LA. So and I'm doing comedy. So he sees me and he's like, "Oh, DC, is that you?" And I'm like, "DC, oh, that's where he does know me from." So I was like, "Yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's me, right?" So he's like, "Okay." And you know, I'll see him out in front of the Improv. We may joke a little bit, say hi, but I'll keep it moving and keep it at that. So that's why for him to all of a sudden jump into a conversation I was having with another comedian in July that had nothing to do with him at all. The first thing he says is, "He ain't got to say shit to you, bitch." And so when he immediately starts like that, jumping into my conversation, I turn like, "Oh, okay."
Your home sees a lot in a day.
And
I know, let me stop you right now because you got to take a look at it.
I was like, "You are out here stealing all these new comedian people's jokes." I was like, "You are not a writer. Your career is going this way." I was like, "You aren't helping put nobody on. Like, you don't let none of these niggas open up for you." I was like, "Has he let any of y'all open up for him? Any of y'all? Please make some noise." And so it was like everybody's quiet, and I'm talking mess to the point where I'm telling him, I even told him, I said, "Nigga, you are a demon." I said, straight up, you work for the devil. I said, you do not help nobody come closer to Christ. You are not helping.
You hear it? You hear it? This is what was happening right here, guys. Listen, the video is going to coincide with what she's saying.
Be a better place. And he was literally like, "You are a," y'all, please make some noise. And so it was
here
like
we go.
Everybody's quiet, and I'm talking mess to the point where I'm telling him, I even told him, I said, "Nigga, you are a demon." I said, straight up, you work for the devil. I said, you do not help nobody come closer to Christ. You are not helping the world a better place, be a better place. And he was literally like, "If anybody love her, you need to come get her before I super sock this bitch." And I'm like, what? Now this nigga's getting...
You see that? If anybody loves her, you better come get her. He knows her husband is there. Before I super sock this bitch. And what was the first thing that she was going to say? What? No, she's supposed to say, "My husband gonna whoop your ass," and get up out of there. But whatever.
He talking violence, and I'm a social worker, so I'm just like, and knowing the laws, I'm just like, this nigga ain't that stupid, especially.
You about to call them crackers? Right. You are the crackers, so you don't need to call nobody. That's a compliment, but go ahead.
You gonna call them police on that man? Don't get caught up with these bitches, guys. Pay attention.
The laws, I'm just like, this nigga ain't that stupid, especially.
You about to call them crackers?
What? Now this nigga's getting violent. He talking violence, and I'm a social worker, so I'm just like, and knowing the laws, I'm just like,
And knowing the laws, ma'am, you got a whole husband there. Fuck you mean the law? But this is what happened. We can't even defend a bitch. Well, y'all can't defend a bitch. Because it's only going to serve you bad. It's fucked up.
What? Now this nigga's getting violent. He talking violence, and I'm a social worker, so I'm just like, and knowing the laws, I'm just like, this nigga ain't that stupid, especially.
You about to call them crackers? Right. You are the crackers, so you don't need to call nobody. That's a compliment, but go ahead.
So yeah. He was basically threatening and was like, if anybody love her, come get her before I super sock this bitch. And so other people were nervous and scared, you know, and was like trying to pull me away and pull me back and put me in the car and really thinking this nigga was about to do something and whatnot. And I was just like, in my mind, I'm like, he talking about he got all this money and boo 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 and he got so much to lose and he the one who's booked and blah blah blah. But yet you talking about hitting a female though, like.
And that was the first time he had threatened to hit you.
That was the first time he threatened to hit me in July.
Okay.
In July.
And so he didn't get a chance to do it. So what led up to him hitting you at the Improv a couple weeks ago?
Oh.
Okay, so remember I told you he fell off his scooter, right? So remember I just told you.
I said his big ass ain't got no business on no scooter. A scooter is for 18-year-olds, college students and shit, and small, short Mexicans.
Right, who got balance.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So what did he do? Okay, so I saw him already a couple times since that situation. He said nothing to me, nothing at all, was always looking away or anything like that. So it wasn't until this situation that just happened a couple weeks ago it was like 12:30 in the morning. I'm walking out of the Improv. So now it's like 12:10.
Here we go. So here's the story. My fault. Here's the story.
December 10th now. And it's 12:30 in the morning. I'm walking out to meet my homegirls in my car. And remember, I just told you that he fell off that scooter and he broke both of his wrists and he fractured some other bones or something like that, right?
In his face?
You said what?
In his arm or his wrist or his face?
Oh no, I was just scratching.
Okay.
He broke both of his wrists and then he fractured some other bones from what I heard, right?
So now he got to hold the scooter with tight wrapped wrists.
Were you admitted to any New York juvenile detention center when you were younger? You need to know that a global settlement may become...
Whatever happened, girl, he fell off the thing, right?
He didn't supposed to be using his wrist.
Yeah, so he fell off the scooter, broke all these bones and everything, and all this other. So basically, the next time he showed up to the Improv, he had the cast on, right? So this is almost like a month later after the fact. So when I saw him through the window, I just went like this, like on my Brandy, I want to be down type thing. And I was just like, whatever, because so many people were already making fun of him and his demise and him being broken up and crippled and stuff like that. And I was just like, I'm not gonna like entertain and add on to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not that type of person. Right. So I was like, whatever, they can have it. And his co-host, Marcus Smith, is one of the main people who was making fun of him while he was injured, to the point where they had a falling out, right? And that whole falling out went viral. It was real nasty, the whole thing, right? So him and Marcus just got cool. This is the first time you're seeing both of them together in front of the Improv. This night that all of this also went down. So I come out the Improv, I walk out, and he is looking at me up and down, and I'm standing in one position because
Here we go.
my knee is still hurting, busted.
Here we go.
That weekend, that Saturday injury that I had. So I have on, it's my 10-year comedy anniversary. So I have on like a dress and like thigh-high boots. I have a fur on. It was freezing outside, and I'm holding my purse, and I'm lighting my J, and then I'm
lighting my J. We knew we had it right all along. We knew we had it right.
Put your lighters up, New York. Put your lighters up, New York.
Basically, by the time I'm on my second puff or whatever, he is looking at me, and then I catch him looking at me, but then now he catches me looking at him, watching me type thing. So then he goes, "Fuck you looking at, bitch?" And I was like, oh, wow, immediately. This is how we're starting, immediately, right? So I was like, all right. And he's 12 feet away from me at this point in time when he starts like this. So he is going, fuck you then, bitch. You dirty bitch, your mama bitch.
With the wrist like this?
So he has the casts are off now. The casts are off now. So right before I got out there, he just told two of my friends, oh, I can't even be out here fighting like that because my wrist ain't even all the way healed yet. So he comes and he's like talking, going back and forth, like, your mama a hoe. I'm like, oh, okay, your mama's a hoe. Like, you a bitch. I'm like, okay, you're a bitch. And I'm just like, what are we doing here? This is so childish. And then he starts to walk up and gets in my face now. And then he goes like, I'm ready for any and everything. All like that. Like, look at me. I'm ready for any and everything. All like that. And I was like, Corey. Like, I'm looking up. I'm like, Corey, what that mean, Corey?
That's a lie. That's a lie. He walked up in her face and she threw her hands up. Well, threw her hand in his face. See that?
Corey, what that mean? Like, I'm like making fun of him because I'm like, he is really already acting out already in front of all these people. Okay. So I'm standing right on the sidewalk, right in front of the Improv, Hollywood Improv door, and I'm not moving at all. I'm standing in one spot the whole time because my knee is messed up. So, and I'm wearing heels I shouldn't be wearing. So all I'm waiting is for my car to pull up, and I'm out. So he's talking mess and going all like this in my face. And then I was like, you ain't learned yet? And then he was like, fuck you talking about, bitch. I was like, I was like, you didn't learn from the last time you said you was gonna super sock me, like, cause he was already talking about knocking me out and shit, right, already, right. So, yeah. Oh God, here we go with this shit again. And so I was just like, Corey, you're not gonna do nothing. Even people were like talking to him, like, Corey, you ain't about to let her hype you up and woo woo woo. And then I was like, Corey, you didn't learn already from the last time. And he was like, fuck you talking about, bitch. I was like, you don't remember the last time you said you were going to super sock me? And you didn't see what God did to you then? And I was like, and then I did the I Want to Be Down Brandy dance in his face again. I said, you don't remember?
Oh, that's what that was. Oh. Now we got to the truth. That's what that was. Oh.
Put your lighters up, New York.
That's what that was. That was a Brandy, I Want to Be Down.
You said you were going to super sock me, and you didn't see what God did to you then? And I was like, and then I did the I Want to Be Down Brandy dance in his face again. I said, you don't remember when
I would have paid anything to see this go down.
Oh, it's right here. I Want to Be Down. That's what that is. Oh.
All like this. I went like this, and then I was like, so I was like, you don't remember both of your wrists getting broke when you said you was gonna slap the super sock the shit out of me? I was like, God didn't tell you I was one of his favorites. He didn't tell you to leave me alone. I said, please believe you keep this up, and it's only going to get worse for you. I promise you that. So he was still.
See that? Now that's a lie right there. Because it's so funny. If you see, you can't play the Tasha K video, but if you see the Tasha K video, she actually points when she's talking, but she's not telling Tasha K that she pointed in his face. See that? See that right there?
Tell you I was one of his favorites. He didn't tell you to leave me alone. I said, please believe you keep this up, and it's only going to get worse for you. I promise you that. So he was still talking shit, all woo woo woo, da 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 da. It's people all in front of us. He reaches over two people and walks up to hit me in my face, like, and folks are just like, wow. So then the security dude, the security guard, who was standing right there in between us, he grabs him and then hits him with like a 1-2, and then Corey's starting to fall back, and then Corey's little yes men jumped the security guard at the improv. So then it becomes it's 4-on-1, but really with Corey it's 5-on-1, and then you got Joe Torre's son, Cam Torre, side swiping, like, you know, like a football move, like when they, yeah, so he does that to the security guard, whose name is Jamel, and he knocks him over, so he falls to the ground, and now it's like 6 guys on one, stopping the security guard who tried to step in for me after Corey Holcomb.
Because I was going to say, where your niggas at? How many niggas you got living in that house with you, child? I was going to say, where the fuck them niggas at?
What?
Well, hold on. No, this is not crash out season. Man, guys. Wow. So this is all about getting up dudes to crash out. Who wins that? Some people die, some people go to jail. Who's the winner?
It was like maybe 5 people with me. So
it shouldn't have even gotten that close to you to even hit you. It should have been.
It was definitely like people in between, and then my homegirl went to go get the car, and then my other homegirl, she grabbed my stuff that was like out, like my jacket and my purse and my boxes, right, and that. So it was like, and then the other guy who was with us, Jerry Law, was just making sure, you know, nobody else tried to, you know, whatever. So he was trying to help break up the fight as well. There were some good people out there who definitely tried to jump in afterwards to try to break up the fight. But because Jamel was right there, he was able to, you know, grab Corey, and then he did get in a couple hits. So
Corey, ultimately, it was like a brawl.
It turned into Jamel getting jumped by Corey.
Right. Now that's the only truth I heard thus far. She got that man jumped. That is the truth. A man got jumped because of her.
It's Corey and 5 other guys on Jamel, who's the head security, one of the head security people at the Hollywood Improv. And he's also.
So let me ask y'all the question, because y'all doing all this, your mama, this, your mama, was y'all high? Because I heard that you be down there selling some of the best edibles ever outside this comedy club. Is that true?
I mean, like, of course, like, yes, I make edibles and whatnot. Like,
hold on. What I tell you, these people are rats. She goes on Tasha K with hundreds of thousands of people and millions of people. And Tasha K, I heard you be selling those edibles. Unbelievable. Whew. These people are dangerous.
That isn't,
They say they're good.
that isn't a secret. And
No, but they say they're good.
they're great. And my grandfather in his business had me doing that as well. And
She rats on her granddaddy for selling illegal edibles. Unfucking believable, man. Dang.
and
Okay.
the family.
So you a social worker, but you make great edibles.
Yes, I do. And
You're a social worker, but you make great edible drugs. Whew. Tasha K threw this bitch a curveball if I ain't never seen one. Man. You should see her face. She thought it was about Corey. I might have to do a separate video on that. Unbelievable. We got 10 more minutes left. I'll do an hour. Oh man, this is serious. I might have to do a separate video on that. She's sitting there calling this bitch a social working, drug dealing, part-time comedian. Ooh wee. So you're a social worker that sells drugs. Wow. Wow. Where they do that at? She's Filipina, and the Somalians, they all do this scamming shit. All these damn illegal tethers do all this scamming shit. Unbelievable, man. Corey should have stayed away from that bitch. Not good. All right. We'll break it down a little later.